We're waiting for, clerk, please go to the next item on the agenda.
We are on item A, roll call. Commissioner
Please
Scott,
call.
Present.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Here.
Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Present.
Commissioner Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Here.
Chair Varga,
Here,
you have a quorum.
thank you. Next item.
We're moving on to item B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I just want to welcome Commissioner Baydoun back. I'm glad everyone is safe and well. And happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It's coming up, so don't forget your loved ones. Next item.
We're moving on to item C, approval of the minutes of the January 25th, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any addition? Any changes? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
We're moving past item D, unfinished business, to item E, new business. Item E1, communication requesting commission approval of proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Thank you. We are going to take all of the items for discussion, and then we will have a vote at the end of the agenda. So any questions, discussion on item number 1? Everyone's done their homework, so let's go on to item 2.
Communication requesting commission approval of a proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? Samaya, would you tell us a little bit about this one? Overtime reimbursement grant?
Yes, good afternoon. Sumaya Harb, Director of Administration at the Sheriff's Office.
Mhm.
This is a grant for distracted driving enforcement. It's only $8,000, but it does help. The officers can work on overtime to issue tickets for those who are on their cell phone or eating in their car or drinking in their car. So anything distracted, based on their overtime, they can pull over and issue tickets. That's not to say that Road Patrol, who are constantly on the roads to make sure that everybody's safe, if they see someone's on their phone, they definitely will pull them over and ticket them as well.
Okay, so Maya,
Go ahead, Commissioner Baydoun.
yes.
No, it's in law.
Okay. One at
No, look. Yes, I know about distractive driving as far as cell phones and using devices. So eating is actually considered distracting, like a sandwich,
Yes.
coughing,
Yes.
a donut or something.
I mean, eating, depends. If you're eating and just driving straight, you're good. If you're eating and swerving, it's considered distracted driving.
Don't enjoy it too much, Commissioner Kinlock.
Also depends on what you're eating.
That's right.
You cannot have fried chicken, no.
Oh,
That's really distracting.
oh my God.
You need both hands.
Or hamburger.
Right. All right, yeah. Well, thank you. Commissioner, anyone else has any questions or want to make a smart comment? Already on to item 3.
Item E3, requesting commission approval of a proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Any discussion on this? It's self-explanatory. Item 4. Next item, Madam Clerk, item 4, if you could
Item
read it in.
E4, communication requesting commission approval of a proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Thank you. We're buying sheriff's vehicles. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Abs-
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner.
We're on 4, right?
Yes,
So are we gonna get, I see that they were unavailable for purchase in the prior fiscal year, but are we pretty sure we're gonna get them this year?
Yes.
No, we're Still haven't.
Through the chair, this is Sumaya. Last year, the companies had the chip shortage. I'm sure you heard of it. And they were not able to complete making the cars. But now they have the chip, and they are promising that we will have delivery of the cars before September 30th of this fiscal year. So
Oh,
yes,
good.
they're working. Yes, we will get those, and we'll get some more, but those because they were left behind from last year.
Yeah.
So we're moving the fund that we didn't use last year to this year so we can get the cars.
Okay, great. That's good news. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm all set.
how many are we getting?
Oh, boy. This one,
It's not a big deal. I was just
to be
curious.
honest with you, I don't have it in front of me, but I can find out.
Just shoot me an email or something, just to
Absolutely,
let,
will do. I'll
I'm
just look
kinda
at the
curious.
PO and I'll send it to you. Yes, yes,
Just,
definitely.
we need a lot of them. We have very old vehicles in the sheriff's department, so I'm happy even if we get 5 or 6, whatever we get. Thank you very much. Any other
Thank you.
questions by commissioners? Okay, Madam Clerk, next item.
We're moving to item E5, communication dated January 20th, requesting commission approval of a proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Thank you. This is certifying revenue in the property tax forfeiture fund. Any questions on this one? Item 6, please, Madam Clerk.
We're on item E6, communication requesting commission approval of a proposed amendment to the 2021-2022 appropriations ordinance.
Thank you. Third Circuit Court Fund. Any discussion on this item?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we keep hearing about the shortages over there with the clerks. Is this going to help with something? I mean,
Taryn
like,
or somebody from the department?
Lynn Roberts is here.
Okay. Lynn,
Morning, Madam Chair. Lynn Roberts, Chief Financial Officer for the Third Circuit Court. The intent of this grant is to assist with providing some additional staff to assist with checking additional jurors in. We're attempting to wrap up and expand jury service to open up, additional courtrooms to allow for that. So while the clerk shortage is still a challenge, we are working to do what we can to expand the number of jury trials that we can handle.
are there any
go ahead.
court clerks working remotely?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, can you repeat that question?
Are there any court clerks working remotely?
I'm not prepared to respond to that. But the last I recall, they were not court clerks. There was an arrangement between the court and the county clerk that needed to be facilitated. I'm not aware of the status of that, but as of December of last year or the end of last fiscal year, they were not working remote.
Okay, I understand there are none. Is there plans then to revisit that and see if that could happen, and maybe the court could then hold more court hearings, which I'm told we have a shortage of clerks in the courts themselves.
Yes, the court and the county clerk are working through that arrangement. Unfortunately, I'm not prepared to respond. I don't know the status of that, but I do know that we were actively working with an agreement with the county clerk.
Okay, could you put that on the radar
Yes.
with someone or with everyone to make sure this has been ongoing for a long, long time. So I would like to see it resolved.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Marecki.
and Lynn, I know you're in the finance part of all this, but
I
is there
know.
any thought of, I mean, this is just, I don't expect you to answer it since you're not necessarily in this, but thought of like contacting former clerks, retired clerks, retired judges, if we need judges, something to start to get this moving. Because
Right.
maybe somebody would come in as a clerk until things get straightened out.
Right. So through the chair, if I may,
Sure.
the Third Circuit Court is not responsible for hiring the clerks, the courtroom clerks. That is the responsibility of the county clerk. So she's
Right.
responsible for recruiting and hiring those staff. In terms of the judicial support, right now, I mean, there are areas where we may require additional, what we call visiting judges, which are retired judges who may come back to assist with some of the cases where it's appropriate. Right now, we do believe the judicial support we have is fine. We do have a couple, especially in the criminal division, that assist. But those, as we're evaluating the backlog, a lot of the backlog is with the current sitting judges.
Okay,
Madam Chair,
thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Kinlaw.
We've, since I've been here over the past year, we've consistently have been hearing from the unions. We've been also hearing from the county clerk. We've even brought her in as it relates to retaining these clerks. And the key thing is that we have to begin to find monies to deal with the compensation issues and concerns. That's causing a lot of these retention problems. And so as we have all this money going around at the state and particularly in the state, because they got so much money, they're trying to get money back. We absolutely need to talk, and you've been up in Lansing, you understand the politics there. The state has to understand that they have to come in with some of that surplus revenue to help us down here, and specifically to deal with these issues in the prosecutor and in our courts. And so I think at some point we should absolutely introduce a resolution, since they are seemingly not having an idea or a clue what to do with this excess money. There's still a need, and I would absolutely like to work with you in drafting a resolution calling on them to deal with this emergency issue within our courts, in our clerk and prosecutor's office.
I agree. Let's do it.
Thank you.
And Madam
Yes, go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I can offer one other thing, and while, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday in the full board meeting, and while a lot of emphasis is on, the county clerk, the Third Circuit Court is also experiencing staffing shortages, in particular in our jury services division. So the intent of this particular grant is to hire some additional clerical support to help facilitate this effort, because we're in the same situation as, county departments are as well.
Thank you. It seems to me that we probably will need an extra discussion, committee members, on the budget process and how we can look into the future before we start the next budget for staffing and for vacancies. So I will make sure that we have that discussion at a future meeting. If that's something you think would be something that we should delve into, I think we should. Alrighty, I'm out of line because that's not part of this particular budget adjustment. Any further discussion? I rule myself out of order. You have to have a little humor in life, makes a job a lot easier. Next item, Madam Clerk, if there's no more discussion on this item. I hear none. Next item.
Item number 7, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35035, reallocating expenditures in the Juvenile Justice Abuse Neglect Fund.
Thank you. Any discussion? I don't hear any. Next item, please.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35052, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Self-explanatory for training. Number 9, go ahead, Madam Clerk, next item.
Number 9, requesting a commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35040, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Let's note that we're working very hard for the sheriff this particular budget.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Any discussion on this item? Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 10, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35041, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item?
Madam Chair, again, I will recommend moving items 1 through 10 to the full board for consideration.
Support.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
I'm sorry, we have an addenda, Chair Varga.
Okay, Commissioner Baydun, do you mind waiting till we?
I will wait and I will revise my motion once we go through the addenda.
Okay, go
One moment
ahead.
while I pull up the agenda. Can you all see my screen?
Yes. Please read in item 11.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35037, reallocating expenditures in the Michigan Indigent Defense Fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 11? I hear none. Madam Clerk, let's go on to the next item.
Item 12, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2022-35094, certifying revenue in the COVID-19 fund and in the probate court fund.
Thank you. This is a pretty good chunk. Any questions about this one? This is very exciting, actually, that we were able to do this. We talked about this in full board as well. And so it's exciting to see that we're giving more services to the people who really need it. Any other discussion on item 12? I hear none. Next item, please.
One moment.
One more addenda.
Going back to the agenda.
The agenda.
Okay, item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I
We
have
need to
none.
go-
I'm sorry, we need a motion.
No,
as
no,
a
we need
short-
to go
Add
back.
mo-
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Motion.
I will revise my motion to include items 11 and 12 on the agenda for full recommendation for the full board.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Martha G. Scott. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Baydun,
Yes.
Chair Varga,
Yes,
motion carries. Moving to item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
committee members, do you have anything? I hear none. Next
I
item.
have a question, one quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna hold off on that question because I'm not sure if this is the appropriate place. I'll just circle back with the administration. Thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry.
If it has to do with budget, if they're on the line, I don't mind if you ask.
Okay, the question that I ask is that during the snow day, or the blizzard that never happened, there were some, it did snow, and I think a day or two before the actual projected blizzards that never happened, there was some departments, employees who came, and I just need to know, what is the county's policy when our staffs and employees show up at work, and then the department director decides to basically send them home? Are they still paid for that time, or do they have to take personal time or any other type of time from their own personal banks?
Anyone from, is the budget director online? I would imagine that they would.
Good
get
morning,
paid.
Chairwoman.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Who is it?
This is Drew Vandegrift, your budget director.
Thank
Commissioner
you.
Kinlock, that's an interesting question that I don't have a concise answer for you for, but my understanding is that personal time was used if in the event of a closure. But if you like, I can plumb the depths of this issue further to see what would happen in the circumstance that you described, where even though employees showed up, then after that time, they were sent home. Am I understanding your question fully?
Yes, you're understanding it quite fully. And I absolutely want to know some background on that, rationale on that. And if there's something that, and absolutely have some discussion on how to change that.
I see. Well, I'll find out everything I can. Was there a particular department that you were?
No, I just someone had just told me that some employees, I don't know, specific department, that they they showed up at work, the department director determined to close, send them home, and that they thought that they heard that it was going to come out of there, some sort of bank, one of the employees' banks. And I thought that sounded unfair, that, show up at work in the county, we tell them to go home, and then they still, it's a liability as relates to them.
I hear you. May I contact you directly after this meeting once I have an answer?
Yes, that would be fine. Thank you.
Glad to do it.
I know a directive was sent out that anyone who could work from home could work remotely. So if they could work remotely and get paid from home, I would imagine it would be fair to say that if someone sent them home, they didn't really do it on their own, that they would also be paid. But that's just me.
That makes sense, common sense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You and I have the same mindset, Commissioner Kenlock. So glad to have you on the commission.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
We all agree, I'm pretty sure, on that one. Next item before I get in trouble.
Item G, public comments.
Please unmute everyone.
Everyone has been asked to unmute themselves.
Thank you. Anyone from the public wishing to comment, please do so. State your name.
President Buffington here, if I'm able.
Yes, please do.
Got it.
Welcome.
I
Yes.
hope not to be lengthy, but I just wanted to piggyback on a few things that were raised. First of all, Ms. Roberts, I'm not real familiar because I'm not familiar with the Third Circuit Court complete administration, but I've been a court clerk since 1997 under our very first chief executive. The practice was that we had court clerks that came back from retirement. It's a portion with the county clerk's office and the court clerks to have a budget of the state court as well as the county clerk. So that's a combined effort to bring back retirees. When they bring back retirees, yes, the clerk may pick them, but it's a budgetary matter for the court to support this effort to bring back the extra allocated help in the courtrooms. So I hope that helps to answer you all's question. The second question in regards to individuals being sent home, they receive a portion of their pay per the Wayne County collective bargaining agreement. But the rest of the time allocated that they're not working, that comes out of their bank. Unfortunately, this was something that was negotiated years ago. And since negotiations were cut off due to the pandemic, we could not change our CBA. So the employees should have contacted their union, which is me, and I'm very accessible. I give all the people immediate contact back via phone, email, and etc. They could have contacted their union to find out what would happen to them if they are not, I can say, at-will employees. So if they're union employees under GAA or anything otherwise, the union can answer their question. But they should have been paid for the time they were there. They should get, if they come in the first half an hour, they should receive 4 hours of pay. So they can contact the union in regards to that, and that will be enforced by the union if it was not done per their department. And I ended up being sidetracked on what I wanted to speak on. I just wanted to thank you all for addressing the issues and answering some of the commissioner's questions in regards to the court. Yes, the county clerk and the state court are speaking, but they're not including the union because the union does not have a CBA with the court. Judge Kenny has not spoken to me at all on the issue. The news has spoken to me. The commissioners have spoken to me. Everyone has spoken to me except for Chief Judge Kenny. I have contacted Zanelle Brown. I have emailed them. I had a relationship prior to him becoming the chief judge with the other chief judges in regards to what occurred as a collaborative issue with the court clerks and the court, since they are not combined. But since I am not negotiating with the court has not been cooperative with Local 1659 and myself as a court clerk as to what's going to occur with the court clerks. And with you not talking with two entities, you're going to have a breakdown with the courtrooms. You're going to have overworked staff. You're going to have people that are drained and leaving and quitting because they don't have any accessibility to having time off, and they're being broken down in regards to the work schedules and the operations of the court when there's a tug of war between these two individuals. These two elected officials need to get themselves together and work collectively so they can recruit employees, so they can have successful docket movings within the court. You know, like you said, people are suffering. Criminals need to be locked up. Things need to be done, but you need to have a cohesive workplace and a cohesive work environment in order to do so. Thank you, and I'm sorry I took up too much of your time.
We don't go back.
Good
and forth.
information.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and it's good information. Lynn, we'll get back with you. Actually, you've done your job, but we will stay on top of this issue. It's very important to all of us, as it is, I'm sure, to Judge Kinney and all the rest of the judges and the clerk too. We're just going to communicate a little bit in the future. Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public wishing to comment? Anyone from the public wishing to comment? Madam Clerk, did we receive any emails?
We have no emails.
Thank you very much. In that case, I hear no more public comments. Next item on the agenda.
Item H, adjournment.
Move
So moved,
adjournment.
Madam Chair.
It's
Support.
been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good meeting, everyone. Thank you for doing your homework in advance.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Madam Chair.
Enjoy your day.
Stay
Everyone.
safe. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Bye-bye.